Oh boy, day 10 of the Diddy trial. Should we do a countdown? Let's do a countdown. Folks, what is going on? My name is Lewis. Sit back, relax, and debate the trial of the century. The trial everyone's talking about right after this. Let's do the drop. All right, it looks like Cassie Ventura is now in the hospital. A good thing because she may be having her baby, but some people are reporting there may be some complications. I don't know if they're exaggerating the story to get people to click. I don't know if it is clickbait. I don't know if it's true, but I don't see why there should be something wrong here and everything. What's up, everyone? How you doing? What's everyone doing? What's everyone doing? How you doing? Did you guys get TMZ is reporting taken with a grain of salt? The complications? I don't know. Did everyone get notified? Let me know in the comments. Cassie at the hospital in labor. There you go. What a pretty woman, right? Cassie Ventura is trading the courtroom for the hospital as it sounds like she may be going into labor, okay? What was she, like 8 months and a half down with it? No one got notified. Wow. Is that her right here? Yeah. She looks good. Our sources tell us Cassie was rushed to the New York hospital Tuesday as she is in labor and with a delivery unit. Notice how they say rush to create urgency. Let's see what else we have. Another source tells us Cassie may be having complications. There it is. Do you believe the complications, or are they just doing this to get people, into this, interested into the story, TMZ style? Cassie recently testified in the Diddy criminal trial in Manhattan earlier this month, showing up to court for 4 straight days for intense testimony. Was she there 4 days? Did she testify for 4 days? She had a big baby bump. She had a big baby bump, TMZ is reporting. Not my words, TMZ's. When she took the witness stand each day, and she was spotted rubbing her belly when she left the courtroom and walked past the jury box. Yeah, man, I think Blake Lively would have been upset at TMZ right here because the big baby bump comment. What do you think? I don't think Blake Lively would have liked that baby bump comment at all. Yeah, millions of things can go wrong with the labor. Usually, thank goodness, though, she looks healthy and everything. Cassie was about 8 months pregnant when she testified, and this is her 3rd pregnancy. Her husband, Alex Finn, watched her testimony from the gallery each day in court, and they already have 2 children together. Story is developing. Let's see if there's more. Is there more? Is there more? No, but there's this. This right here. This right here. Capricorn Clark. Who is she? What is she? Where does she come from? I have no idea. She was an assistant here, but she's claiming that Cassie Ventura was no Whitney Houston as a singer, as a performer. I don't know who this is. I don't want to be mean, but who is Whitney Houston? She seems jealous. who is Whitney Houston? That's like saying, hey, man, I produced a house track. I'm a good DJ, but I'm no Michael Jackson. Someone says, Lewis ain't no Michael Jackson or Prince. Of course not, man. We thrive to be these people. As an artist, we are inspired by these people. But I'm sure if you ask Cassie Ventura, are you as good as Whitney Houston or Mariah Carey? The answer is going to be no. So that's kind of like a weird take. Do you think it's a weird take? Is it a weird take? Huh? Everyone in the chat, is this a bizarre take? Let me see who's on here. This was on the witness stand today. Tammy, how you doing? Lily Depp Head, what is up? Blockbuster. Jennifer's in the house. Karen, what's up, everyone? Okay. Christina thinks TMZ reporting, take it with a grain of salt. A little bit, yeah. What's up, Ann? How you doing? You all got notified? Let me know in the comments. This is my little broadcast here, Nerd Report Live. Lee's in the house. How the hell are you doing, guys? Here's where, Marsha, you're back. Thank you. Dany. Yeah, listen, this is where I take the moment. I give you all a voice, man. We go through the case, and I talk to everybody in the comments. Giving birth is always a dangerous and so beautiful. Yeah, there you go. It seems like dangerous, man. It seems like it is dangerous, right? For the newborn and the mom. New Orleans in the house. Yeah, let us know where you're watching from, folks. Let's go with that. Thank you so much. Blake Lively needs to get a life. All right, what do you think of today's testimony? We'll go over some of what happened and everything. Blake Lively needs to get... Does anyone give a shit about Blake Lively anymore? All right, what is this? This is why she testified first, in my opinion. Because of Cassie. You talk about Cassie giving birth. Other witnesses will bring more issues to the jury, but her initial testimony is now on record to collaborate the others' experience and testimony. Now, you know, also, it's very interesting because there is a similarity. I'm going to get into it right now between the Blake Lively thing and Justin Baldoni and this. There is a similarity. And maybe even with the Depp trial. I'm going to tell you what it is right now. My thumbnail looks like it's clickbait. What is my thumbnail? What is my clip? Let me see.
AG Pam Bondi making...
My thumbnail looks like clickbait. Let's see. I don't want to have clickbait on my thumbnail. All right. Nerd Report. All right. Let's see. Diddy could walk. No. It's not. And I'll tell you why. You want me to tell you why now? You know why I think Diddy could walk? What's up, Shelly? Now, first of all, you've got to if you're not mature enough, if you don't understand that there is a difference between Diddy could walk and should he walk. All right? And from what I've seen of the evidence, he should not walk. All right? But what is the jury? The jury is composed of peers, right? Am I wrong? Am I wrong that Diddy, the jury's composed of peers? Yay or nay? Let me know in the comments. You have, you have Diddy walking. He's walking right into jail. Okay, so let me see. Let me see my thumbnail, and then I'm gonna give you my explanation, and then you all tell me if it's clickbait or not. All right. Diddy could walk is not Diddy's walking. Number one. Okay. Diddy could walk is not Diddy's walking. It's not me saying he should walk. Could walk means he could walk out of jail. Press 1 if you think he could walk. Press 2 if you think he shouldn't walk. So you could go 1, 2, like that, a 12, right? If he doesn't pay off the jury. Exactly. All right. So we're gonna also analyze my thumbnail. Listen, here's the deal. And this is the problem with not televising the trial, okay? There's a growing, whether you like it or not, you could be mature about it or you could be immature about it. There's a growing number of people claiming this is all about SA and a toxic relationship. Catch my drift? Do you agree with me? Do you see that? Doesn't mean I like it. Doesn't mean I agree. I don't agree with that. But there's a growing amount of people that don't know or see the RICO stuff. Am I wrong or right? And if you say I'm wrong, you're wrong. There's a growing amount of people seeing. There's not a growing amount of, Lorraine, there's not a growing amount of people saying that this is about a toxic relationship. Here's the deal. Now you're saying, Christina, that I don't think they have proven it without a doubt, but it still have a few weeks trial. I think they have proven it. Yeah, some people say they have proven it. But here's the problem. We're watching this trial through, we're not watching the trial. We're watching it through people typing, right? We're not seeing it. It's not being televised. It's more difficult to get a grasp of that stuff, right? And the media is going to gravitate. Okay, let's do that. The media is going to gravitate to the SEX stuff because that's what the audience gravitates to. The RICO stuff is it's difficult to explain, and some people may find it boring. Am I wrong or am I right? And Marsha right here. Okay, so I was watching Popcorn Planet. Were you guys on there? And the guy Brian called, right? And Brian, in my opinion, represents a lot of people that think like him. Because they're reading it, they're watching it through other YouTubers, maybe they're watching other commentators, and they're looking at it as it's a toxic relationship. And it was. And maybe Cassie had substance abuses. But a lot of people don't understand Stockholm Syndrome. And you have that even with like a religious cult. You don't want to leave the cult, right? Even though you're being abused. But here's where, Marsha, and if you guys watch that, here's where the thing is ridiculous, okay? And this is where it reminded me of the Justin Baldoni case with Blake Lively. Because Justin Baldoni's fans, a lot of them, not all, are whack. Okay? A lot of them are whack. Here's the problem. When I go and I say, hey, man, we got to look at the trial. We got to look at what's going on, what the facts are with Justin Baldoni. I got called names. This Brian guy, he calls up. He has his opinion. He gets called a clown by half the chat. Now, if you're trying, have you ever debated with somebody about politics and called them a clown and they go, you know what, you're right. I agree with your stance now. That doesn't work in a debate, man. I think the thing is, we got to figure out why people think like Brian does. And then we let him know why people think like us, right? Where we see the manipulation, we see beyond the abuse. You guys get me so far? Or am I full of shit right here? All right. So calling a person a name, well, I mean, okay, so Marsha says, Brian's definitely had an opinion, definitely not right. Okay. I don't know. I agree with you. I agree with you. But to call the guy a name, but also let's look at the deeper thing. Maybe the jury is composed of peers, right? So there's going to be people like me, people like you, and people like Brian inside the courtroom in the jury. And you know what? If the prosecution hasn't really made their case clear and the jury's too, whatever you think, if the jury, let's just say the jury's dumb and they don't see what you see, they could probably not vote, guilty. You catch what I'm saying? You catch what I'm saying? It's like it's like we share the same brain, unless we're talking about Nirvana. Wait, do you agree with me, Jennifer? I know you're at work, but we got to look at why people are not, at least the people reading about this story, why are they not convinced? Why don't they see the RICO charges, and why do some people do? Calling someone stupid is not going to change their mind. Or a clown. Or am I old-fashioned? You know what I mean? He's seeing it. I mean, Brian's not here. I wish he was. I would put him on. Brian, are you here? Hello. He is seeing two people in an abusive relationship. I think that's what he's seeing. And then some people are seeing RICO charges. You know what I mean? Why? Why is that? Has the prosecution put on a bad case in where you have to dig in there to see the RICO charges? I don't know. And what is the jury convinced? Does it matter? Is there gonna be people in the jury going, oh no, I think this is two abusive people in one relationship. What are they gonna do? Jennifer says, yes, I think calm, respect debates with people like Brian would be an opportunity to educate on things he doesn't fully understand. Calling him names and mocking him won't solve anything. Exactly. You just become, I got to be honest with you. Even I fell in that. When I said that I'm guilty of it, when I said, let's wait until trial for the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively thing, I got called a bunch of names. And you know what that made me do? I wanted to go against Justin Baldoni it just pushes the person to the other side. You know what I mean? But that's not important. People call names whatever because they get emotional, whatnot. But I think the debate right here that we should talk here on Nerd Report, or you guys in the comments, is we gotta admit there's people that think this is just two effed up individuals in a bad relationship. Now, people thought the same thing about a lot of people came up to me and they go, well, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, they're just two toxic people in a relationship. A lot of people told me that. And we could roll our eyes and get mad at them and call them whatever, but those people were there, and there were a lot of them. Marsha says, what triggered me about Brian's call was the dismissal of trying to leave a relationship on multiple occasions. The denial of Stockholm Syndrome, he's not hearing the testimony. Well, to hear, that's the thing, it's not televised. And I gotta say, Stockholm Syndrome is very hard to understand unless you were on the receiving end of being abused, right? It's and especially if you're calling in, you know, if you're calling in fresh, you're like, yeah, liberation, you know, I want to fight. And then you're like, well, there's a thing out there called Stockholm Syndrome. If someone's really bad to you, you don't want to leave them. That's difficult to understand. You know? I'm not saying, but don't confuse that, what I'm saying that's difficult to understand with that it doesn't exist. I know it does. And if later on you put words in my mouth in the comments, I will call you a clown and ban you from this channel. Don't ever put words on my in my mouth. I'm not talking to anybody specific here, but later on, people like, you know. I'm still trying to read through the Baldoni fire dump he did a few weeks ago. What is he doing? I'm not gonna ban you. I say when people put stuff in my mouth. Well, okay. So the similarities back then with the Lively and Baldoni case, because people have a different opinion, you call them names. It's so weird. You want to call them a name, but you gotta grow up and don't call them the name. There's a lot of things I want to do that I have to shut my mouth. It's part of being mature that you zip it. Okay? Let's see what this says. Could you guys hear this?
Sex trafficking trial will resume tomorrow as a third personal assistant is set to take the stand. Over the first couple of weeks, jury members heard explosive testimony detailing the alleged physical and emotional abuse Combs caused. Let's bring in David Gelman, former prosecutor and a criminal defense attorney. David, welcome.
Hey, Mike, good to be here.
Did you guys hear that okay? Loud and clear. Okay, so this strong possibility Diddy could walk. There are people saying that, and I'm gonna say this now. If he's found guilty, this is gonna get really loud. That he wasn't. There's gonna be people like that out there. Are you ready for that? Are you ready for that? If you think he's guilty, there's gonna be people that are saying he's not. That was a witch hunt, that it was racism.
So in week 2 of testimony, jurors heard from a dozen witnesses as prosecutors try to prove sex trafficking and racketeering. What are your expectations when court resumes tomorrow?
It's going to be really interesting.
It's from
tomorrow
yesterday,
when
though.
Diddy's third or fourth assistant takes a stand, and she's going to actually corroborate Kid Cudi's testimony from last week, where he said that Diddy and another associate of his bombed his Porsche years ago at his house. Now, you have...
Did he say, chat, correct me if I'm wrong, Did he say that it was him who bombed it? I don't recall him saying for sure it was him. I think it's alluded to. But now remember, folks, before I continue, I also want to say everyone's innocent until proven guilty. I'm learning as I go. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. It's all opinion. Everyone here's an opinion. It has female DNA. You're talking about the car. But here they're saying, let's listen to it again.
What are your expectations when court resumes tomorrow?
It's going to be really interesting tomorrow when Diddy's third or fourth assistant takes a stand, and she's going to actually corroborate Kid Cudi's testimony from last week, where he said that Diddy and another associate of his bombed his Porsche.
That's a strong statement. Did that happen? Did Kid Cudi say that? You all are I've been studying this case. I don't recall that. Do you guys recall that?
Bombed his Porsche years ago at his house. Now, you have to have cooperation about that because nobody can put Diddy there. And in fact, nobody even can say Diddy's the actual one who did it.
So this guy is kind of weird, man. Because if I just watch, see how it's all confusing, and I know like people are confused, and you need to understand why people are confused. This guy right now, as maybe he'll correct himself as the video goes, he is saying, correct me if I'm wrong, in my opinion, he's trying to say that Kid Cudi said that Diddy's guilty 100%, but it's up to Kid Cudi to prove it. When I don't recall Kid Cudi even saying that it was him 100%. I recall that there were threats to Cudi, and then they assume, when you threaten someone and then something bad happens to them, you assume it's the person who did the threat. Yo, am I going crazy here? He never said Diddy did it, just that there was talk of it. Okay. They alluded to it, but they won't say, Karen, they won't say he did it because then there's liability, man. You got to have proof before you accuse someone of that. Eve recalls threats only. Is this guy off a little bit? Or is he dramatizing everything? What's up, Matthew?
Can say Diddy's the actual one who did it. But if they can say that Diddy or an associate of his did it, then you may have a racketeering charge there. Because right now, as it stands, Mike, nothing, and I mean nothing, is sticking to Diddy.
You hear that? He thinks nothing is sticking to Diddy. I don't know. Is he playing the crowd or is he playing for drama? Like my clickbait, allegedly clickbait thumbnail?
Diddy there. And in fact, nobody even can say Diddy's the actual one who did it. But if they can say that Diddy or an associate of his did it, then you may have a racketeering charge there. Because
all right, female DNA. What if someone, I'm speaking hypothetically and about no one in particular, ordered a woman to do it? Conspiring.
right now, as it stands, Mike, nothing, and I mean nothing, is sticking to Diddy.
Diddy's lawyers are trying to make the case that his escapades do not.
All right, nothing sticking to Diddy. I recall there was something that was sticking to his chest. And it was disgusting. You think when all said and said, when it's all said and done, it will be all proven. But it's up to the jury to know what's going on too, you know? Does the jury know what's up? Is the jury part of the people that are not? Marsha, sorry about that. Is the jury part of like Brian?
Not amount to federal crimes. How difficult is that argument?
I think they're doing a fantastic job, honestly. Look, everybody has said, and Diddy's lawyers even said it in their opening statement, Diddy is not a good guy. There's a lot of domestic violence that occurred between him and Cassie in their relationship. However, what we've heard so far from the testimony of Cassie and the other individuals does not amount to the federal charges that he's being charged with right now.
Okay, what's your opinion? Does it amount to the federal charges? Forcing her to organize the freak-offs via violent means, like where she's scared for her life. This dude is wrong. Are we just like too used to like movies where you catch the bad guy in a dramatic way, right? The dude's playing. The dude's playing for views.
Right now, I'm not going to say anything that we heard is very good because it's all horrific. However, the state or the government in this particular instance needs to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he conspired to racketeer, to sex traffic, and to promote prostitution. So far, they're falling way behind in this. And I know there's a lot more to go in this trial because
here's a big problem though too. I've read research where the jury decides their verdict, most of the jury usually decide their verdict a week in. So if they're going for the long game, they may have already decided guilty or not guilty. I don't know. That's what I heard.
Way behind in this. And I know there's a lot more to go in this trial because they're saying it's going to be about 8 weeks. But the government really better step on the gas because they don't have a lot more time to go.
So the play seems to be maybe admit to a state crime that avoids prison time. Is that it?
Yeah, I think so. Look, again, you're hearing about all this domestic violence, but all that has nothing to do with what Diddy is charged with. There's a possibility, and I'm saying a very strong possibility right now, that Diddy could walk.
What? There you go. There is my thumbnail. Diddy could walk. I'm quoting this guy. I don't agree with... Do I agree with him? I don't think he should, but he could. There it is. There it is, folks.
Violence, but all that has nothing to do with what Diddy is charged with. There's a possibility, and I'm saying a very strong possibility right now, that Diddy could walk, that he could be spending 4th of July at home having a barbecue.
4th of July. He may be at home. Diddy may be at home. That should have been a thumbnail. Diddy to be at home. 4th of July celebration with Diddy. I'm with the white lady on this. You mean Jennifer? She has a name. Ain't no way Diddy's walking. What do you guys think? I'm with the white lady on this. Jennifer. She has a name, man.
Prison time, is that it?
Yeah, I think so. Look, again, you're hearing about all this domestic violence, but all that has nothing to do with what Diddy is charged with. There's a possibility, and I'm saying a very strong possibility right now, that Diddy could walk, that he could be spending.
And this is reinforcing people to think Diddy is not guilty of anything. I'm just, don't shoot the messenger, Baldoni fans. I'm just saying that is out there, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not. All right, so what's going on, man? All right, the federal trial began on May 5th. Combs faces charges of S trafficking, racketeering, and transporting for S workers. He has pleaded not guilty and remains in custody. All right, let's go. I'm going over 10 things that have happened, the most important things so far. Let me know if I missed anything in the trial. Cassie's testimony. Combs' ex-girlfriend testified for over 4 days about a decade of alleged abuse, including coercion, S-acts, and physical violence. She previously settled a lawsuit against Combs for $20 million. Some people are like, after that testimony, they want to blame her. Some people have gone as far as saying, $20 million isn't that much. Is it that much for a billionaire? Probably not that much. 2016 hotel assault video, surveillance video showing Combs assaulting Ventura in Los Angeles motel hallway was admitted into evidence and released to the public. We have a reaction video to that. Combs apologized publicly after the video surfaced. Yes, he apologized publicly and then said it was a misunderstanding or some shit like that. What the hell? Also, folks, could you hit the like button? God dang it. I'm a one-man army here trying to provide you some information, some discussion, highlighting your comments, and I can't get a like from you. Let's go. Capricorn Clark. Former assistant Capricorn Clark, that was today, testified that Combs kidnapped her at gunpoint in 2011. Is that true? Is information real? After learning about Ventura's relationship with rapper Kid Cudi, Clark described being forced to accompany Combs to Cudi's home, where Combs threatened Cudi's life. Kid Cudi's testimony. Rapper Kid Cudi testified that his Porsche was destroyed by a Molotov cocktail in 2012, alleging Combs was behind the arson following tension over Cudi's relationship with Ventura. I don't recall him saying it was him. Did he say it was him? I don't recall Kid Cudi claiming it was him. I'm confused here. And unless he has like absolute proof it was him. Alleged freak-offs. Witnesses, including Ventura, described events formed freak-offs where women were allegedly coerced into DRUG-fueled S encounters orchestrated by Combs. Okay, orchestrated by Combs. Allegedly, I don't know, I wasn't there. Freak-offs orchestrated by Combs. There's testimony of that. Is that RICO? I think it is. When you orchestrate criminality, that's RICO, from what I understand. But what do I know? Especially since the DRUG fueled S encounters with S workers is not legal in any state that I know of. Defense strategy. Combs' legal team argues that the S activities were consensual, part of a swingers lifestyle denied by any criminal. Well, the defense is saying that they were part of a swingers lifestyle. Dude, but there were S workers there, right? Rico, suave. Bro, is that Rico, suave? All right. Yeah, Marsha, that's what it sounds like, right? The defense is alleging that everything was consensual, part of a swingers lifestyle. But but we got didn't we have S workers testifying that they were paid? And but see, that's the shit. No one is really reporting. I haven't seen anyone say, like, report Combs, or no one report like this. S workers claim they were paid and transported state by state by Combs. RICO law implemented or some shit like that. Everything is like S, abuse, the videotape. It's just like, I could see how people are confused about this case. All right, this thing says here, as of October 2024, over 120 lawsuits have been filed against Combs, alleged S misconduct dating back to the 2000, involving both male and female plaintiffs, some of whom were, I don't know. I don't want to read that. But let me ask you, that's all Busby, right? That's not going to be here. This is a federal case, and the other stuff's civil. Am I right? Corporate and public fallout. Following the allegations, Combs facing significant professional repercussions, including lost partnerships, being removed from events, and a decline of net worth. So what happens? Question for the chat. What happens if Combs is actually not guilty, found not guilty? Does he get his money back? Who pays for that? Who pays for that? Let me see. Let me ask. If Diddy is found not guilty, who pays for all his financial losses? Who pays for that? Well, he's not gonna. Yeah, who pays for that? If I'm asking AI who pays for it. It says great. This is AI answering the question, so it's probably bullshit. Or it's probably inaccurate. Great question. And a short answer is no one is automatically responsible for Diddy's financial losses if he is found not guilty. Here's why. Legal system doesn't guarantee compensation for accusations. He would need to sue. Media and public opinions have no legal liability. So those are the three reasons. Johnny Depp had to pay for his own court fees, but he sued Amber Heard for what? Well, I forgot what it was. Government, aka the tax dollars. If he sues the government, we're paying for it. We're paying for it. If he sues the government, you're paying for it. It's funny because I don't know. By the way, shout out. What country, city, or state are you? Show comment. What is this? What country, city, or state are you all watching from? Let me know in the comments. Okay, so for some reason, I always see that, like, Americans like to say, let the government pay for it. It's like, dude, you do realize that we are the government, right? We are the government. You are paying for it. You are. Oh, you can see the comments on the screen now. Or can you? See that, like, American. I don't know what just happened. All right, what else do we got? What other highlight? Okay, so I think Shelly asked this, all right? Trial duration is expected from 8 to 10 weeks. For sure, this is going to be 2 months. It's at week 3. We're at week 3. So we got to, well, according to this, we got a week. We got, wait, what do we got? 5 weeks left. We got 5 weeks left, folks. By the way, folks, if you want to support Nerd Report, that's me right here. You could do so by hitting that like button right now, making sure you're subscribed. Making sure you're subscribed. Keeping the conversation going in the comments. All right? We appreciate your comments. But if you want to take it a little further, you could be the first one today to send in a super chat, super sticker, become a member, or gift memberships, whatever you want to do. We also have a PayPal option, folks, that I will be dropping right now in the comments. Let me see if I got it right here. And PayPal is probably the best way because we get most of the proceeds. And yeah, man, it's going to go to coffee to energize me, to keep the channel going, to keep the lights going, to keep the jive going. PayPal right here. If not, I do understand times are tough, but you could press that like button, man. You could press that like button. All right, what else do we got? All right, who's Capricorn Clark? Who is she? Do you guys know who she is? I never heard of her. Capricorn Clark is a former assistant of Diddy, all right? And creative director who worked closely with Sean Diddy Combs in 2004 to 2020. She held various roles within Combs Enterprises, including Bad Boy Records, and served as Cassie Ventura's creative director until 2018. She was Cassie Ventura's creative director, and she came out with the ingenious theory, the ingenious testimony, ladies and gentlemen. She said that Cassie Ventura is no Whitney Houston. Oh my God. All this time, I thought Cassie Ventura was the second coming of Whitney Houston. Who else thought Cassie Ventura and Whitney Houston were neck and neck? Just like P. Diddy and Michael Jackson and Prince are neck and neck in talent, said no one ever, okay? No one ever thought that. But for some reason, maybe someone could explain why, Capricorn Clark claimed Cassie Ventura is no Whitney Houston, folks. Clark is a key witness in the Combs ongoing federal trial, where he faces charges of trafficking and racketeering. On May 27, 2025, that is today, she testified about multiple incidents of alleged abuse and threats during her tenure with Combs. All right, this is via the Daily Beast and EW. 2011 kidnapping incident. What? I don't know if this happened. I wasn't there. Okay, this is all alleged. Clark recounted that in December 2011, Combs appeared at her home armed with a pew-pew after discovering Cassie Ventura's relationship with rapper Kid Cudi. He allegedly forced Clark to accompany him to Cudi's residence expressing intent to harm the rapper. That is, that is bad, and that goes beyond abusive relationship. What do you all think? What do you all think? Yes, she is no Whitney Houston. She is no Whitney Houston, then. All right, here's a weird one. Here's a weird one. Threats over past employment. Clark testified that Combs threatened to end her, allegedly, upon learning that she had previously worked with Suge Knight, founder of Death Row Records. There's a rivalry between those guys. This is via People, all right? You guys do your own research to get further detail or to disprove whatever I'm reading, okay? Why wouldn't she tell Diddy that she worked with Suge Knight? Does anyone else find that strange? When it's well documented, Suge Knight and Diddy did not get along. And she was in the music industry, and which is already tight niched, and then the rap industry is even more of a niche, and then the Diddy industry with Suge is even tighter. Why wouldn't she disclose that with P. Diddy? Is that weird? Or am I the only one that thinks that's weird? Does anyone else think that's weird? It is weird, right? I almost don't buy that she wasn't trying to. Might be scared, but okay, but that's kind of like something Diddy would discover, man. But yeah, the industry is strange, Angela. Where are we at? And there were threats over past, allegedly testimony of threats over past employment. Clark testified that Combs threatened to end her upon learning she was previously working with Suge Knight. Physical abuse allegations. Allegedly, she described an incident where Combs violently assaulted Cassie Ventura at his Los Angeles home, kicking her repeatedly. Again, I wasn't there. I don't know. While security guards did nothing. Oh, this one's wild, bro. This one's crazy. Business Insider rant. This one's crazy. Forced lie detector tests. Forced lie detector tests, bro. When Combs' jewelry went missing. Allegedly, these went on for days. Also, there were allegations allegedly of her being sent on assignments to grab some stuff, some illegal stuff. And yeah, man, look, her testimony was set up to establish a pattern of abuse, criminal behavior. So, among some of the actors or some of the celebrities mentioned was 50 Cent. Combs did not like 50 Cent, she alleged. So there you go, man. That was today. Most of what happened today. What do you all think? What do you all think, folks? That is Scientology shit. But look, man, I'm going to say this. That's not exclusive to Scientology. There's a lot of cults that use the same exact methods, word by word. You know what I mean? Verbatim. They use the same tactics to, and some people in the cults, they have Stockholm syndrome, where they feel they can't leave. So. Okay, let's see if there's any. Yeah, I feel like this right here. This Capricorn lady, like claiming she's no Whitney Houston. I feel like that was like very immature. What do you guys think? Was that kind of immature? No problem. Elizabeth says, sorry, I'm late. No problem. You could probably rewind this video and get most of it. What do you guys think? Was my reporting okay? What do you guys think? Give me a grade, man, 1 to 10. Is there anything else I could add to my coverage of this? Well, let's see. Remind me again. Did she make the Houston joke on the stand or back in the day? It looks like it was on the stand. Did he employ Capricorn Clark trashes Cassie on the stand? She's no Whitney Houston. Oh, it's an 8? You guys giving me an 8? That means it's a 7. You guys are being nice. You guys are being nice. You all are being nice. Thank you. A 10? It's not a 10. 9? That means I think it's a 6.5. I think I'm a 6.5. But I'm hey, I may get better as I go, man. I may get better. With you all coming, I'm doing amazing. Thank you, Marsha. Thank you. Thank you. Get your comments in, folks, because I like to. That's one. That one is hard to decide without hearing it. Wait, hearing how she said it. It could be jealousy or sarcasm, maybe even sincerity, but it text is hard. That's a good point. Like reading shit via text or secondhand, we don't know what's going on. That's why a lot of people are right now sincerely saying that they just see an abusive relationship and no RICO. I mean, and some people see RICO and no abuse. She sounds jealous. Well, look at how, okay, this is how it's described via TMZ, all right? Cassie is getting trashed by a witness in the Diddy criminal trial. All while Cassie is in the hospital because of her pregnancy. Capricorn Clark, a former Diddy employee, is being cross-examined by Diddy's defense attorney, Mark Angelifio, okay? And she is telling the jury how their relationship changed over time. Clark previously said she used to manage Cassie, and Agnifio asked her why they sometimes did not get along. Clark said in 2018, Cassie went from being a sweet model to a feisty girlfriend, getting more bravado as her relationship with Diddy progressed. Angefino asked Cassie if she thought Cassie was talented. Okay, so the lawyer's asking, Did you think Cassie was talented? And Clark responded that Cassie had talent and was beautiful, but was not talented. Okay, so she's straight up saying that Cassie's not talented. Angelfilio asked Clark if she thought Cassie was talented, and Clark responded that Cassie had talent and was very beautiful, but not talented. Huh? Clark said Cassie was more of a studio musician who wasn't the greatest live performer, like everyone else. Ask Milli Vanilli. And for her talent, and for her, talented meant Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey. Okay, but you could be talented but not be the best. I mean, when you're saying Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey, that's like the cream of the crop. So she could. Yeah, she could have said yes or no, but not elaborate. She elaborated and compared her to anyone. Yeah, she didn't have to compare her. So, bro, I don't know, man. If somebody said, hey, you know, Lewis, your singing is good in the studio, but you're not Michael Jackson, Prince, you know, Freddie Mercury, I wouldn't be offended by that. Cassie has talent, but she's no Madonna. No shit. Anyways, I'll take it to you all. What do you guys think? What do you all think of the madness so far? Tomorrow we'll be back. Alexander says, Mariah Carey is possibly the most talented singer alive today, but I never was the biggest fan. Yeah, you don't have to like her style, but like I'm not a big fan of a lot of the stuff, but I do recognize the talent, you know. You can't be in denial. You got to recognize the talent. You don't have to, you know, you don't have to be a fan of the genre, but to deny people have talent, that's kind of like a little whack.
At Grainger, we have over 1 million products, including the ones that help keep your workplace safe.
All right, let's pivot. I'll get a couple things I want to show you. This was kind of weird. So Barack Obama's mansion is heavily guarded, right? It's heavily $8 million mansion, right? Heavily guarded. And he has security everywhere. And these are probably Secret Service. They are Secret Service. They are Secret Service. 2 female Secret Service get into a brawl on camera. Who released the video? I don't know. It had to be Barack Obama. This is wild. Check it out. All eyes on the screen. Video has emerged of 2 Secret Service women fighting. Look at that. This is outside his DC mansion. Wait, I thought they were the poor party. I I thought, I thought poor people with mansions? It's kind of weird. That is so weird, man. Don't they vent? How unprofessional could you get, man? Oh, do we know why? Do we know, is there a reason why? Is there a reason? Yeah. The altercation unfolded on May 21st at around 2 a.m. as the former president security detail grappled next to the police vehicle. In an audio before the fight obtained by Rio Clear Politics, reporter Susan Krabitry, one of the Secret Service agent, was reportedly heard calling a supervisor as she threatened to attack her colleague. Can I get a supervisor down to detail? Before I whip this girl's ass? What the freak? I'll look at it. Hold on a second. There it is. I know it's 2 a.m., man. Like, what is this shit? How are they going to take care of the former president like this? None of these politicians are poor, but they claim they are, so I'm going to call them out. But yeah, I'm gonna look into this. How are you gonna? Oh, and then this one. This is also in the news. Check this out. Check this out. What is this? French president. Look at this. It looks like Emmanuel Macron's wife slaps him, okay? Check this out.
Macron has been humiliated by his very own wife in front of the eyes of the world.
You see that?
Emmanuel Macron has been humiliated by his very own wife in front of the eyes of the world. Yes, shocking footage has emerged overnight.
Here's the weird part. A lot of people find this funny because it's a man getting slapped. A lot of people find this funny. Imagine if it was the other way around. I want to see what would be the reaction if it was him doing that to her. There may be more to it. You're right, but if this video leaked of him doing that to her, what do you think would happen? With no other explanation. Come on, Coral. I wonder what he did. Yeah.
Emmanuel Macron has been humiliated by...
That's weird, man.
Emmanuel Macron has been humiliated...
She went like this with both hands, dude. She used both hands. And then he went back to argue with her. Look. Yeah, it looks like he went back to argue with her. What a dumb asshole she is, man. Yeah, I'm not gonna let up because it's a woman doing it to him. Screw that. Some fucking Diddy shit right there, dude. Imagine if Diddy did that to Cassie. He looks shocked that the camera got it. He looks shocked that the camera got it, right? He goes back to argue with her. Look at this. Look at how. Oh, damn. And then this lady's embarrassed too. Dumb comments, dude. Hypocritical. He looks like he's used to dealing with that. And that's sad. He looks shocked. Candace Owen claims she's a man. She looks like a female to me, but I don't know, man. How is she a man? Candace Owen, man, like, bro, like, she has good takes and then she messes it up. Like, seriously, dude. Not claims. You think she's a man? You think she's a man? I don't think she's a man. She said it and they didn't sue for defamation. Do you guys think she's a man? I don't think she's a man. She looks female to me. But, you know, I don't really care. Yeah, well, I don't know. Look, I don't know details about what Candace Owen is doing right now, but it's like it's like a shock jock shit, you know? Yeah, I don't care for the genitalia she has. I don't care what genitalia she has. I'm not going to look at it. I'm not saying, what do you mean? Candace has given birth before? But I'm not saying anything about I'm just saying she has like these weird takes, man. I don't know. Listen, I know probably some people agree with her here. I just can't. Who needs to log off? Candace? You don't fully agree with anyone. That's a good take. That's a good take. Anyways, folks, I'm gonna give it last minute. I want everybody to hit the comments, and if you have any comments about the Diddy trial, the Barack Obama 2 a.m. Secret Service brawl, or this right here, let me know. You have a minute to discharge, and I may give you a highlight. It almost looks like she's trying to shove something in his mouth. You think? Let's see. Oh, he went back to tell her shit. Okay, look at the lady right here in the front. She looks like she's the lady right here. She looks like she saw it. And she's like, oh shit. I'll pretend I didn't see that. You think that's a domestic situation? Candace Owens is a mess. I don't follow her. Bad. All right, folks. I appreciate you. Look out for standalone videos. We will be going live again tomorrow with the best of Diddy stuff. Let's see what evolves tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed this video. Talk to you later.